Have you noticed how the world is slowly shifting away from China? In 2025, more and more countries are choosing India as their trusted partner in trade, technology, and global cooperation. From the United States to Australia, nations are moving supply chains, signing trade deals, and investing in India's fast-growing economy. Why? Because India offers stability, democracy, and an unstoppable consumer market that China can no longer match. In today's video, we'll uncover the top 10 countries turning to India instead of China in 2025. Let's dive right in. 10. United States. In 2025, the United States has pivoted strongly towards India, especially in technology and electronics. India recently overtook China as the top exporter of smartphones to the U.S., with Apple leading the shift through its China Plus One strategy. Washington is encouraging supply chain diversification, reducing reliance on Chinese imports. India's favorable tariff structure, massive manufacturing growth under the Production-Linked Incentive (PLI) scheme, and rising workforce productivity make it an attractive partner. Beyond trade, U.S.-India defense and space cooperation is also deepening, positioning India as a long-term ally and manufacturing hub, unlike China, which faces increasing U.S. scrutiny. 9. Germany. Germany, Europe's economic powerhouse, is steering investments away from China and into India. In 2025, German company Hansgrohe announced plans to quadruple its production in India as Chinese sales slowed. Other German firms in automotive, engineering, and machinery sectors see India as the next big market, thanks to its rapid urbanization and infrastructure growth. Berlin is also strengthening ties through green energy and climate initiatives, where India is emerging as a crucial partner. With geopolitical tensions making China less predictable, Germany values India's stable democracy and youthful workforce, making it a key hub for future European industrial expansion. 8. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has formally signed a comprehensive economic and trade agreement with India in 2025, marking a milestone in their partnership. This deal is set to double bilateral trade to over $120 billion by 2030, making India one of Britain's most important trading partners outside Europe. With post-Brexit challenges, the UK seeks reliable partners, and India's growing middle class provides a huge consumer base. British companies in finance, education, and technology are expanding in India, while India exports electronics, textiles, and IT services to Britain. Unlike China, India offers both a trusted supply chain and a democratic framework. 7. France. France is increasingly betting on India as a long-term partner instead of China. French luxury, aerospace, and defense companies are investing heavily in India, which they now describe as the China of 20 years ago. Dassault Aviation continues to supply Rafale jets to the Indian Air Force, while Airbus collaborates with Tata to build aircraft domestically. French fashion and luxury brands see India's growing wealthy class as a lucrative market. Strategically, Paris views India as a democratic partner in the Indo-Pacific, aligning with its push for autonomy in global politics. This makes India more attractive than an unpredictable China. 6. Israel. Israel is turning to India for technology, trade, and infrastructure collaboration. At the 2025 India-Israel Business Summit, both countries announced new agreements to cut trade barriers and strengthen digital customs cooperation. Israel views India not just as a defense ally, but also as a key partner in cybersecurity, water management, and agriculture technology. As China faces suspicion in Israeli markets due to geopolitical concerns, India is emerging as a trusted alternative. With shared democratic values and strategic interests, both nations are deepening ties, ensuring that Israel increasingly prefers India's partnership over China's influence in critical industries and trade. 5. Kenya, Africa. Kenya has shifted towards India as its top Asian trading partner, surpassing China in areas like healthcare, IT, and manufacturing. Unlike China, which often focuses on heavy infrastructure loans, India emphasizes skill development, affordable medicines, and digital partnerships. In 2025, Indian pharmaceutical companies expanded their footprint in Kenya, providing low-cost healthcare solutions. Indian IT firms are also empowering Kenyan businesses with digital tools. With its people-centric development model, India is seen as a more sustainable partner compared to China's debt-heavy approach. This growing collaboration highlights how African nations are increasingly turning to India as their preferred economic ally. 4. Bangladesh. Bangladesh, a key textile hub, has leaned heavily on India for imports in 2025. Indian cotton, fabrics, and yarn exports to Bangladesh have surged, providing faster delivery times just 2 to 3 days compared to 45 days from China. With Bangladesh's growing garment industry facing supply challenges, Indian suppliers are becoming indispensable. Beyond textiles, India provides energy cooperation and cross-border connectivity, enhancing bilateral economic ties. Political trust and cultural closeness also play a role, as Dhaka values India's reliability over Beijing's uncertain policies. For Bangladesh's fast-growing economy, India has become the preferred partner over China in both trade and infrastructure. 3. Japan. Japan continues to strengthen its partnership with India as part of its free and open Indo-Pacific vision. Japanese companies are moving supply chains to India in electronics, automotive, and renewable energy sectors, reducing reliance on China. In 2025, major Japanese investments in India's metro systems, bullet train projects, and industrial corridors highlight this shift. Tokyo also sees India as a counterbalance to China in regional security. Both nations share democratic values and collaborate closely in the Quad Alliance with the US and Australia. Japan trusts India's stable business climate more than China's state-controlled, unpredictable economic environment. 2. Vietnam. While Vietnam competes with India in attracting supply chains, many Western firms view India as a more scalable alternative to China. In 2025, India's electronics exports surged past Vietnam's, thanks to lower tariffs in the US and broader PLI incentives. India's larger workforce, bigger domestic market, and improving infrastructure give it a long-term edge. Vietnam remains important in textiles and assembly, but global corporations like Apple, Dell, and Samsung are expanding operations in India to reduce dependence on China. As a result, even countries invested in Vietnam's growth are shifting more focus and trade partnerships towards India. 1. Australia. Australia has become one of the strongest partners turning to India in 2025. With strained relations with China in recent years, Canberra is deepening trade and defense ties with New Delhi. The Australia-India Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement is boosting exports of minerals, education services, and agricultural goods, while India supplies pharmaceuticals, IT, and skilled professionals. Strategically, both nations collaborate in the Quad Alliance alongside the US and Japan, ensuring regional security. For Australia, India offers both a trusted democracy and a vast market, making it a far more reliable long-term partner than China in trade and geopolitics. India's rise on the global stage is no longer a prediction. It's happening right now. Countries that once depended heavily on China are finding new opportunities in India's booming economy, democratic values, and expanding industries. From defense to electronics, textiles to technology, India is becoming the go-to partner for the world. The shift is clear. The future belongs to nations that trust and invest in India. Which country do you think will become India's biggest partner in the coming years? Will it be the US, Australia, Japan, or someone else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.